What is better, ignoring that small drip at the end and pretending nothing is happening, or finally accepting that after 50, your bathroom has become your new primary bedroom? You've probably heard many times, in casual conversations or through popular wisdom, that waking up 3 or 4 times a night is simply a part of aging, or a toll you must pay for the years lived. But let me tell you something your body knows and your mind tries to ignore with all its might. Aging does not have to be synonymous with suffering, and that chronic fatigue, that mental fog you feel every morning upon waking, has a medical solution of barely 2 minutes that you can apply today. If your rest looks like this, fragmented, exhausting, frustrating, and with the feeling that your bladder has a mind of its own, stay with me because today we are going to break the myth of the untouchable prostate once and for all. I am a specialist in male health, and throughout my career of over 15 years, having spent time in operating rooms and high-specialty clinics, I have managed to transform the quality of life for thousands of men who, like you, thought that a weak flow and constant urgency were their new and sad reality. In this detailed talk, you won't just understand why your system collapses right when you turn off the light and seek peace, but I will give you the exact protocol so that today you can regain command of your own body. If you want to go back to sleeping 8 hours straight, this is the definitive reason why you must listen to every word continuously, because what I am going to reveal about the hidden connection between your nervous system, your mineral biochemistry, and your pelvic floor is something rarely explained with this depth in a traditional medical consultation. Never ignore silent inflammation if you don't want to end up depending on aggressive drugs with undesirable side effects or, worse yet, an emergency surgery that you could have avoided with just a little knowledge. A mimi tomo anos de practica clinica y observation directa entenda que la prostata no es solo una glándula que crece por un era de la naturaleza. Es un órgano profundamente reactivo que responde a tu nivel de tensión interna, a tus picos de cortisol y la salud de tus arterias. Probablemente has probado de todo, desde tes de hierbas hasta suplementos de farmacia, pero estos son los mejores y peores hábitos para tu salud urinaria. Y te aseguro que el 90% de los hombres están cometiendo errores críticos que dictan lo contrario a lo que la fisiología médica moderna sugiere. Imagine it as a ring of tissue embracing the duct where urine exits. When that ring becomes inflamed, it doesn't just squeeze the physical flow, it sends electrical panic signals to your brain, creating a false alarm that the bladder is full when it barely has a few milliliters. Do not despair after trying 1,000 remedies without success, because the real problem is usually that your pelvic floor is trapped in a defensive state, a constant, closed fist that won't let water or calm pass through. This condition, often called chronic pelvic pain syndrome or non-bacterial prostatitis, is frequently misdiagnosed as a simple infection, leading to rounds of unnecessary antibiotics that only destroy your gut flora without fixing the mechanical squeeze in your pelvis. There is a technical and medical detail that is almost never mentioned in mass media. Your prostate's greatest enemy is not just age, but how you manage intra-abdominal pressure and venous return before going to bed. Many men make the grave mistake of stopping water intake at 5 in the afternoon and yet still wake up 3 times. Why does this happen? Because the body, when lying in a horizontal position, begins to reabsorb the fluids accumulated in the legs during the day, a phenomenon known as peripheral edema. This fluid returns to the bloodstream, the kidneys filter it, and voila, your bladder fills up while you sleep. If your strategy is based solely on voluntary dehydration, you are attacking the symptom and not the root, and you are also stressing your kidneys. The professional secret I share with my long-term patients is using compression socks during the day or elevating the legs 20 minutes before bed to drain that fluid while you are still awake. Understanding that an inflamed prostate is a prostate living in survival mode is life-changing. When you feel that urgency in the middle of the night, the instinct is to forcefully contract the pelvic muscles to hold it in while you get to the bathroom. However, that contraction is like trying to put out a fire by throwing dry wood on it, as you only manage to further tense the sphincters that are already obstructing the path, weakening the bladder muscles in the long run. Over time, the bladder has to work so hard to push past the prostate that its walls thicken and lose elasticity, a condition we call bladder trabeculation. If you reach this point, even fixing the prostate won't fully stop the frequency, because the bladder itself has become stiff. This is why acting now, with the techniques I'm teaching you, is a medical priority. Let's talk about the real biochemistry happening in your body. You've probably heard of zinc or the famous saw palmetto, But the critical role of magnesium glycinate in relaxing the internal urinary sphincter is rarely delved into. Without this essential mineral, the smooth muscle surrounding the bladder outlet simply cannot dilate. It is a matter of ions and electricity. Without magnesium, calcium keeps the muscle contracted and the urethra remains strangled. But we must also talk about vitamin D3 and K2. Research shows that men with higher vitamin D levels tend to have smaller, healthier prostates. Why? Because vitamin D regulates cell growth and prevents the disorganized multiplication of cells that leads to BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia. This is where the 2-minute prostatic breathing trick comes in, a technique I have perfected for my busiest patients. When you lie down, instead of checking your phone, whose blue light, by the way, alters melatonin and sensitizes bladder receptors, you must take a deep and conscious breath. Do not take the air to your chest. That only activates your stress further. Take it down to the pelvis, feel how your lower belly inflates and how, internally, the pelvic floor expands. By exhaling very slowly, for at least 6 or 7 seconds, you are sending a direct signal through the vagus nerve for the parasympathetic system to take control. This isn't just mental relaxation. It is a biological order for the prostate to let go of the urethra. But I want to go even deeper, because there is another factor that is often overlooked: metabolic health and its impact on microcirculation. A prostate that grows disproportionately is often a sign of pelvic congestion. If your blood isn't flowing well due to high cholesterol or sedentary habits, the veins around the prostate become engorged, causing the gland to swell like a soaked sponge. This is why walking 30 minutes a day is, medically speaking, a prostate treatment. Furthermore, sugar spikes during dinner are poison for your nocturnal prostate. If you eat flours, breads, or sugars for dinner, your body retains more sodium and fluid, and the resulting insulin spike acts as a growth factor for prostate cells. Therefore, a professional recommendation is that your last meal be light and rich in healthy fats, like avocado or walnuts, and proteins, avoiding the late-night carb-heavy snacks. Now, I want to stop for a moment to ask you a sincere question, man to man, or specialist to patient. How many times did you get up last night, and what is the first thing that goes through your mind when you see the sun hasn't risen yet, and you're already dealing with a weak and interrupted stream? Is it frustration? Is it a feeling that your body is failing you? I would love for you to share that experience in the comments. You have no idea how much it helps other men to know they are not alone in this silent battle. Your comment could be the spark that encourages someone else to seek help. If you feel that this detailed information, uncensored and science-based, is what you've been looking for, I invite you from the bottom of my heart to subscribe to our channel, Wise Sexuality. Here, we don't stay on the surface. We go to the root of male health problems with the seriousness your body deserves. Don't settle for living halfway, feeling old before your time. I have seen men regain their confidence and vigor simply by correcting their posture when urinating. Did you know that sitting down to urinate, though it might hurt the ego of some, is medically proven to allow the pelvic muscles to relax more fully, leading to a more complete emptying of the bladder? It's these small, ego-free adjustments that define a wise approach to health. Moreover, we must address the jaw-pelvis connection. There is a fascinating neurological link between the masseter muscles of the face and the urinary sphincter. If you clench your teeth due to stress throughout the day, you are subconsciously clenching your prostate. It's that simple and that profound. Practice keeping a soft jaw, and you will notice your urinary flow improves. I also invite you to browse the other videos we have prepared for you on the channel, where we talk about how testosterone and prostate health go hand in hand, and how to avoid the estrogen dominance that often causes prostate growth in older men. Remember that as a junior architect of your own life, you are the one responsible for the maintenance of your structure. My years of professional experience have taught me that knowledge, when applied with consistency, is the most powerful medicine. Start tonight with abdominal breathing, watch your dinner, elevate your legs for a few minutes before bed, and seek that magnesium intake your body is screaming for. Don't leave it for tomorrow, because every night of uninterrupted sleep is an investment in your heart health, your testosterone levels, and your overall happiness. Write the word commitment or compromiso below if you are going to take charge of your health today. I am your ally on this journey toward a full life, and I am here to make sure that every time you close your eyes, it is to truly rest. See you in the next video to continue building wise sexuality and ironclad health together. Take care of yourself, because you deserve it.